It started with the hum, a low, almost imperceptible vibration that seemed to settle in my skull late at night. When the world was quiet, at first I thought it was the fridge or the heating system in my old apartment, a quirk of living in a pre-war building. But after a few nights, I realized the hum wasn't coming from anywhere external. It was in the silence itself, and the spaces between sounds, like a hidden frequency just out of reach. I didn't think much of it at first. Weird things happen when you're overtired, and I was working long hours at the firm. I chalked it up to stress and kept pushing through. But then it started changing. The hum began to pulse, faintly at first, then with rhythmic insistence, like a heartbeat. Sometimes it sped up or slowed down, as if it were responding to my thoughts. And then, one night, it spoke. I was lying in my bed staring at the ceiling, trying to ignore the pulsing vibration in my ears, when I heard it. A faint whisper layered over the hum. My breath caught. It wasn't words exactly, but the impression of them, pressed into my brain like an echo. I sat up, scanning the room, but nothing was there. The shadows were still, the street lights casting their usual glow through the curtains. I told myself, a trick of the mind, sleep paralysis, maybe. But deep down, I knew it wasn't. The whisper felt real, tangible, in a way that left my chest tight with dread. Over the next few nights, the whispers grew more distinct. They didn't speak in sentences, just fragments, disjointed through thoughts that sent shivers down my spine.
Closer now, closer now. Always watching. You should look.
I stopped sleeping. The hum followed me everywhere. At work, in the shower, even in the noisy streets of the city. It was always there, just beneath the surface, like a second heartbeat. And then I started seeing them. It was subtle at first, a flicker of movement. In the corner of my eye before I could turn my head, a dark shape that lingered too long in my peripheral vision. But they grew bolder, closer. One night, as I was brushing my teeth, I caught sight of it in my bathroom mirror. A figure standing just behind me, its outline indistinct, like a smudge of darkness against the air. I spun around, but the room was empty. When I looked back at the mirror, it was gone. I tried everything. White noise machines, sleeping pills, even soundproofing my bedroom. Nothing worked. The hum persisted, growing louder, more insistent. The whispers became a constant drone, the fragmented words weaving into a tapestry of dread.
Why did you notice? Too late to stop. They are coming.
One night, I snapped. I screamed into the room, demanding they leave me alone. The hum stopped. For the first time in weeks, there was real silence, real, absolute silence. I should have felt relief, but instead, a cold dread settled over me. The silence was wrong, heavier than the hum had ever been. It pressed against my ears, my chest, my thoughts. And then, from the silence, a single whisper.
Turn
I don't know what made me do it. Maybe curiosity, maybe terror, maybe some sort of primal instinct to obey. I turned. The room was empty, but the air wasn't. It shimmered, distorted as if something enormous was pressing against the fabric of reality. Trying to break through, the hum returned deafening now. Vibrating in my bones, shadows writhed in the corner, stretching towards me like smoke tendrils. And then I saw it. The space between the sounds, the gap I hadn't even realized existed, was not empty. It was full of them, shapes, hundreds of them, twisting and folding into themselves, watching me from that impossible void. Their forms incomprehensible, a fractal nightmare that burned itself into my brain. They were not supposed to be seen. I wasn't supposed to know. I don't remember much after that. I woke up on my living room floor, the morning sun streaming through the windows. The hum was gone, replaced by the usual sounds of the city. Cars honking, people shouting, a dog barking somewhere down the block. For a moment, I thought it was over. A bad dream, maybe. But when I turned on the TV, the screen flickered, and for a split second I saw them. Their shapes burned into the static watching. I moved out of the apartment the same day. But it didn't help. The hum followed me. It is quieter now, but it is still there, waiting, lurking in the silence. I've stopped using mirrors. They're the worst. That is where they come closest. If you are reading this, I need you to listen carefully. If you ever hear the hum, don't acknowledge it. Don't try to understand it. Don't listen too closely, because once you notice them, they notice you, and once they see you, they never look away. Alright, that wraps up the video here, and I know literally every single YouTuber says this at either the beginning or the end of the video, but like and subscribe. Like seriously, it really helps out the channel and I can provide more content for you, and subscribing is free, and if you want to unsubscribe later, that's fine too. Special thanks to Spiritual Rush. Really well written. I'm excited to see if there's a sequel after this, and if so, I will narrate it. So yeah, thank you guys, and Mr. Gentleman out.